Ronald Wilson Reagan was born February 6, 1911 in Tampico, Illinois. A man of many nicknames, he received his first, Dutch, as a child from his father who said he resembled a fat little Dutch boy. Reagan was an athlete and student body president in both high school and college, where he also acted in school plays. After graduating from Eureka College in 1932 with a degree in economics and sociology, Reagan found a job as a radio sports announcer. In 1937, Reagan began his acting career. He appeared in more than 50 films, among which was the 1940 biopic Newt Rockne, All-American, from which he received his second nickname, the Gipper.
Rock. Someday when the team's up against it, the brakes are beating the boys. Ask them to go in there with all they've got. Win just one for the Gipper. I don't know where I'll be then, but I'll know about it. I'll be happy.
After filming, Reagan married his first wife, actress Jane Wyman, with whom he had one daughter, Maureen. The pair divorced in 1948. He would later become the first president to have had a divorce. Reagan served as president of the Film Actors Guild from 1947 to 1952. As president of the Guild, Reagan was committed to routing out communist sympathizers on Hollywood's blacklist. It was in this capacity that Reagan met his future wife, actress Nancy Davis, who had come to him concerned that she had accidentally been put on the blacklist. The two wed in 1952, had two children, Patricia Ann and Ronald. As Reagan's acting career diminished, he took a job as the host of the television drama series The General Electric Theater. It was during this time that his political views shifted from liberal to conservative. He led pro-business discussions, speaking out against government regulation and wasteful spending, which would later become the mainstay of his political platforms. In 1964, Ronald Reagan was thrust into the political spotlight when he gave a rousing endorsement of Republican presidential candidate Barry Goldwater in a speech entitled A Time to Choose. 2 years later, he ran for and won the governorship of California. Reagan's campaign emphasized two main themes: to quote, send the welfare bums back to work, and to quote, clean up that mess at Berkeley, which he did so by cutting funding to welfare programs and sending the California Highway Patrol in to quell the protesters in Berkeley in what became known as Bloody Thursday. After two failed attempts at gaining the Republican nomination for president in 1968 and 1976, Reagan finally got the party's nod in 1980 and defeated incumbent Jimmy Carter, winning the Electoral College 489 to 49. At 69, he was the oldest president ever elected. In 1984, Reagan won the presidency by an even larger margin, defeating Democratic opponent Walter Mondale 525 to 13, carrying all but one state, Minnesota. This remains the largest margin of victory in the Electoral College by any president in history. Please enjoy the following video homage to President Ronald Reagan.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
So what does it all mean? Was his presidency a success? Many think so. But let's take a closer look at some of his policies. Reagan's domestic policy, Reaganomics, did in fact create jobs and reduce inflation. The effects of his escalation on the war on drugs can still be seen today, as the United States has become the single largest incarcerator in the world. While Reagan substantially reduced government spending on social programs, he dramatically increased military spending, which ballooned the national debt. Reagan's foreign policy, which consisted of funding various anti-communist movements around the world, bombing various countries including such insignificant and small ones as Grenada, and a scandalous affair in which he provided weapons to Iran and used the profits to fund the opposition to the Communist Party in Nicaragua. His presidency was the first administration to help fund the Taliban in Afghanistan. It should also be noted that he's most well known for presiding over the end of the Cold War, which should not be discounted, and is why his foreign policy is often seen as a resounding success. One aspect of Reagan's presidency that is not talked about very much is that due to the fact that Congress was split during his presidency, with the Senate being Republican and the House being Democrat, he sought to gain control through the judicial branch by appointing nearly 400 federal judges, 3 of them being Supreme Court judges, 83 being appellate court judges, and 290 district court judges. By far the most by any president. In 1998, Ronald Reagan revealed that he had Alzheimer's disease, which led many to believe that he had the disease while in office, which would be scandalous to say the least. He's seen as the face of conservatism. He died in 2004, loved jelly beans. It's said he saved 17 lives as a lifeguard, and during World War II he produced training films for the Army. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I'm still alive.